Alright, so in this video, we're going to be discussing the new Third Eye Blue RHYA that's going to be coming out very soon on September 10th. Alright, so he's a blue attacker, new unit, and has new animations. And actually, let me pull them up before anything, because this is basically new info, I guess. It was in the story chapter on JP, so let me at least show it to you. So this video is going to be talking about all his teams and basically just how good he's going to be, essentially. I've had basically a lot of time now to just think about what he can do and discuss with a lot of people, alright, and basically get my full thoughts on RHYA. So in this video, obviously, when I show the teams, it's going to be the green RHYA, but I'm referencing blue attacker RHYA that's coming out soon. Now, I'm going to basically be guessing that you've already read his kit or have watched my previous video. And if you haven't watched my previous video, you could do that. But basically, with whatever unit he's comboed up with, whatever unit's his partner, he gets different buffs on either his ult or his passive. And then he has immortality at max dupes. And then when counterattack is on himself, he gets crit rate and damage reduction, which is going to give him just extra damage reduction for a while. And he basically just, I mean, what else is really big? I mean, that's basically the main things, if we're being real. Obviously, there's a lot more to his kit, but you know, besides that, it's not like anything too crazy. It's just obviously I didn't go in depth of what these do, but I will kind of mention them as we move along. Okay, so let's get to it. All right. All right. Let's start off with the animations. Let's start off small. So Ali got it in his story. Basically, he was going through the story, and he was able to find these animations. Which, yes, the RHYA model is different, but it's obviously going to be the same animations. Look at that. Look at that skill 1. That is a skill 1, man. Isn't it crazy? And now he's gonna ult. So just beware of how good the ultimate is. All right, actually, how good it is. I can't even lie. This ult really just, bro, it sent me. It really did. So look at this. Bro, he starts off with lightning, goes into fire, goes into wind, goes into water, and then drops it down. So yeah, that ult, in my opinion, looks really, really, really good. I don't know if he's going to show the skill 2. Let's see. I just want to wait 5 more seconds because I'm not sure if he showed the skill 2. It is very possible. But it's also possible he died, right? So, okay, he kills. Let me see if I can find it. Alright, so he starts off with a big Rasen Shuriken for the skill 2. Right, it's pretty cool. I think the skill 2 is the weakest. The skill 1 is the best, like the coolest thing. He has licked light arrows, and then he goes into the slash, which is really, really cool. So let's go into this. We've got all his teams down here. I'm pretty sure I have team 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. I don't think 5, right? No, not 5. So remember, this is supposed to be blue RHYA, all right? Even if it shows green RHYA, obviously, blue RHYA is not in game yet. So why exactly this team? Now, this team for me isn't going to be good as when other people run it. Why? Because my units won't be as tanky, all right? It's very possible that if RHYA is good, especially on this team, I'm going to put William at level 110, Zora at level 110, and Charlotte at level 110. I think this is going to be the main mono blue team. So remember, with RHYA being blue, this is a mono blue team that's going to work. Now, why is it? First of all, let's start with William. Main reason is because, where is it? Here. He gives protection to the ally with the highest all attack if it's a mono blue team for 2 turns. Now, one thing you gotta remember for RHYA is at max dupe. Basically, you kind of need to use a max dupe, in my opinion. Could he work without it? Yes, but it will be much more difficult. At max dupe, he gets immortality. And if you're able to stop that immortality from leaving quicker, or if you're able to stop someone from combo remove, immortality removaling, either with the combo with Yuno, Spirit Dive Yuno, Zora, or Destiny Vanessa, right? Those 3. Well, then you're safe. And how do you get that? How do you stop it? Is by having protection. Now, what else he does that's good is put debuff immunity, which is actually going to be good for the long run, especially when Dorothy pops up. And then he also extends counterattack. So if counterattack's already on RHYA, that's going to ensure that RHYA keeps his 40% crit rate and 15% damage reduction, which is why Charlotte's there. And then he puts damage reduction. So if counterattack's there, that's a 39% damage reduction buff. Now, he can taunt, which is actually very strong. And one thing that is also good is he gives RHYA a damage increase buff if counterattack is present on them. And remember, RHYA also gets counterattack on his combo. So there's a lot of things playing together to where William is going to be very good for RHYA. Very, very good in my opinion, right? Now, you stack that alongside Zora, and it's actually insane, okay? Why exactly? Where's Zora's skill page? I think I took it off, but oh my god, I have a lot of Zora skill pages. So it's gonna be good because he could put this on, and RHYA has MO. So even if you attack RHYA, do big damage, well, you're gonna reflect and you're dead, right? So if Julius decides to do big damage, well, it's gonna be a bit scary. And then he puts a defense increase, which is good with William, and then also with Zora's skill page. So you put that with William, those two together, it's gonna work very well, okay? 50% defense increase, 245% defense increase, and then with Williams skill 1, I think it's like a 90% defense increase. But the main thing is that defense, then you get 20% damage reduction, and what's also crazy, 34% damage reduced, right? So it's pretty good. Then this is okay, but it's mainly this and also having MO removal, okay? Having immortality removal is basically a necessity for teams now, now and in the future, because the next RHYA has it, okay? Black Divider has it, Mario has it on mono green, okay? And then what else? Fuego in the future has it, okay? I'm trying to remember, is there anyone else? Magna too. So you need MO removal. And what makes it even crazier is that he's going to be going very quick on a mono blue team. On mono blue, he's the quickest unit in the game after Noel. I think, yes, after Noel, he's as quick as FINRAL. So, I mean, I guess FINRAL would go first because of the mobility. But Zora, like, base speed, 127, second quickest in the game. Now, what makes him very crazy, right, is that, well, he could keep himself alive because when Reflection Trap is present on himself, he gets damage reduction. But the main thing is that he puts buff immunity on the DPS on the enemy team. One of them, right? And this buff immunity stops speed buff and all that good stuff, which means, I mean, in a lot of cases, you'll be safe, right? It's definitely going to be good to not have attack buffs on, like, Black Divider, for example. So I actually think this is good. Now, buff immunity can technically hurt RHYA in the way that, where is it? He gets He gets a damage increase. Hello? Am I tripping? Where is it? Oh, he gets a 5% damage increase for each buff on all enemies. So obviously you're reducing the damage he's going to get from that, but still. So Zora and William work well together. William allows RHYA to keep his MO up longer, whereas Zora's going to keep him tankier. Now, you want to try, and also William has heals, right? So I'm talking about this in the lens of a very high investment team, and you got to check here. William has heals, which is going to be good for RHYA to not fall into that immortality, right? And then protection, and then you've got obviously reflection with damage reduction and defense increase. So like these two work. He puts buff immunity. He actually is going to help you do damage because RHYA has MO. Immortality works very well with Zora. He has MO removal. Then William's going to make you even more tanky. Extend counterattacks that Charlotte's going to place. Okay? So Charlotte has the counterattack, and you might not always use that. You might even use the skill 1 and keep the combo for later. But she also has an all attack. Usually, I honestly think total defense will be pretty good on her. Plus, she gets the SP, so it's going to depend. I could see Sally's being good too, because that's obviously multiplicative buffs you're putting on RHYA. But, I mean, overall, though, like, man, with Charlotte, it's going to be pretty good because obviously it's going to make it a 2-turn counterattack. So 2-turn counter, then it goes to RHYA's turn, back to 1 turn. A counterattack, then William extends it to 2 turns. So it's just a very good synergetic team, in my opinion. And you guys let me know what you think. But I think mono blue with RHYA is going to be pretty good if you have it well invested. More so, what I think you need is basically William with skill page, and then Zora, I mean, he needs a skill page at the bare minimum. And then obviously RHYA, but you don't need them max duped. But does it help? Yes, RHYA is going to be getting 30% extra damage from William, and then also Zora is going to be buff blocking. So this team does work. I think it will work. But we're going to need to see it in game, but I really do have high hopes for it. Now, why Charlotte and RHYA together? Reason is, because if we check here, now it's very possible, there is 2 different ways I see this working. And it's going to be William or Charlotte with RHYA, but I'm not sure yet. I think William with RHYA might be good. And the reason is, if he's with a defender, RHYA gives or puts immortality removal on an enemy. So if there's MO on BDA, then you remove it. But the problem with that is going to depend, right? Because you need to, BDA already needs to be under 30%. But that happening when it's RHYA's turn to ult is very low. So I feel like it's just better to give RHYA more turns, but we'll have to see. And what I mean by that is that RHYA with a supporter, Charlotte, gets a 50% mobility increase. And what this does, I could show you guys basically right now. It's pretty simple. I mean, I could use this RHYA. I can. I'll just explain it very simply. RHYA's at 103 speed. It doesn't really matter right now. Actually, let me just put someone with immortality. So we'll put Licht. We'll put Licht. I need them to survive. We're just gonna fight a friend. I just want to show you basically how this is gonna work in the actual environment. And okay, so let's just let's put Licht. I mean, we genuinely don't need anyone else. I mean, I'll put Mars to have debuff immunity, because that I just want to make sure I don't get debuffed. But where's my Licht? So I just want to show you how exactly this mobility is going to work as best I can before he's out, because we've never had something in the game like this. And then obviously stop debuffs to make sure, right? So we'll do this, all right? Licht should not be dying. And we'll just see. We'll see. And you'll understand what exactly and why this mobility is amazing, okay? So I think they're all gonna go before us, basically. Yep. So Noel goes, all right, that's fine. William goes, all right, there we go. And then he goes, all right, that's what we expected. And then there we go. So Noel goes again, all right, that's fine. Okay, I don't really care. And then boom. So what you see, Licht is at 100% mobility. When it's his turn, when it's RHYA's turn, right? When it's RHYA's turn, well, that gives him 50% it gives him 50% mobility buff every time it's RHYA's turn if he's comboed with a supporter, okay? And what this means is RHYA's going to be at 150% mobility. And what you can see here is that when he gets that 150% mobility and when he gets that 50% mobility buff, he is quicker than the whole enemy team. He's quicker than the whole enemy team, right? 50% is about here. He's quicker than the whole enemy team, right? Which is insane. So when it's Licht's turn, he's going to end up going, when it's RHYA's turn, he's going to end up going pretty much again, almost right away, which maybe can be counterintuitive in the way that you might also lose your protection buff, but it will depend on the situations, for sure. I think we're going to need to see, but like I said, it's either going to be, because he gets to go twice, right? Gets to go twice. So it's going to be pretty crazy to where what I could see you doing is if Asta doesn't skill 2 to put protection, you skill 2 with RHYA, remove buffs from Asta to make sure you kill. Well, also to put him under the immortality threshold, then you kill with the ult. I genuinely think that could work if you have RHYA comboed up with William, right? So it's really going to depend. It's either going to be like this or like this, right? Those are the two ways it's going to be. But I think this is going to be the best team. And you guys let me know what you think. Now, next up, this team should work. It just works baseline, right? Reason being, because Mimosa's there, right? You res someone who obviously... I just need to make sure if someone's just stopping by right now. We're talking about Third Eye RHYA. Okay, we are talking about Third Eye RHYA. We are talking about Blue RHYA. He's a blue attacker. This is not the Green RHYA. It's just because Blue RHYA is not in the game. So this team, if you have the res gear and your Mimosa is well built, like this one, maybe not as built obviously, but if you have res gear, well, RHYA is going to be kind of unstoppable. This is going to be an insane team. He's going to have immortality removal on this team. And why that's going to be good is because on this team, I think Magic Attack Noel is maybe the strat. We're going to have to see. We will. And another thing is Dorothy is going to probably be an easy slot in where Charlotte is, because Dorothy is just going to be crazy as hell. So we'll have to see. But this team will work. I do think it's going to work, right? It should. Because, you know, you're giving Noel counterattack too, which counterattack on Noel is actually a very strong thing, even if it's for one turn. So we will have to see, I think, more so with this team, but I could see it working, right? Mimosa res, just give RHYA defense penetration to give him the heals, and you're fine. I really do think so. It's going to be very hard, because what, are you going to target RHYA with Emma, or are you going to target Mimosa? That's just the dilemma with immortality units. But this team will work, because also RHYA is going to have a built-in damage reduction. Whenever it's his turn, he gets damage reduction, right? For one turn. So it's gonna be really good. It really is 30% damage reduction. Hell yeah, 30% damage reduction is gonna be very good, right? Very good to have. And And then I feel like Noel with magic attack will be a bit safer, but we will have to see, right? We will have to see. This slot I feel like is very replaceable. I just don't know with what. Okay, because RHYA in this team has ammo removal and is getting 4 SP every turn. So it's not like you're really lacking on SP, right? That's the one thing. It really is not like you're lacking on SP. So just keep that in mind, right? Now this team, you're going to be very surprised as to why Noel's there. Now, I think a lot of people will not be able to build this team for one reason. They don't have Noel built, and I feel like Max Dupe Noel is kind of a necessity. But, you know, this is the team that I'm opting for with FINRAL that we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how it works, right? Now, why exactly with Noel? Well, a lot of people were bringing up, oh, well, if you're not on Mono Blue, RHYA can get stunned off of Mono Blue. And my solution to that is Noel's skill page, which puts stun removal. It removes the stun. Guys, come on. This is actually going to be kind of toxic, right? And this team might surprisingly work versus Mono Blue. Versus Mono Green, sorry. Versus Mono Green. Because the main Mono Green team is with Mario. And guess what? Noel removes burns. So I could honestly see this team work, which is so surprising. And one of the like shock factors, I mean, okay, first of all, Noelle is going to be going very quick because she's going to be going before RHYA, especially against Mono Green and also versus Magna teams, because she gets mobility every time there's a dot on her. Remember, this is a very high investment team for sure. But then she also gives 20% HP heal whenever it's her turn. But the main thing is really just removing 2 dots from everyone, giving a continuous heal, and that stun removal. That stun removal is so strong. And then she gives a huge heal there. This one is like, it's really whatever. I don't really consider that too crazy. But then also this, lowering the damage is going to stop RHYA from getting one-tapped, right? For sure. Because it's all enemies 35% reduced damage. So that combo is maybe sometimes. Because also, what you got to consider, this is such a good combo, I just realized. Noelle increases the max HP of an attacker, which is going to be RHYA in this case, right? So, that's a 14% HP increase, which if we check I guess or Black Divider, like, they're about 100k HP, about, give or take, right? So, because of that, that's about, like, a good 10k HP increase. But then you factor in 10k HP increase that RHYA is going to get, alongside a 35% reduced damage dealt on the enemies, right? So then it makes it so that, oh yeah, you're going to be able to get RHYA stun removal, and she is quicker than RHYA by 1 speed. She is quicker than RHYA, which is the main important factor that you guys have to realize, which is why I think Noelle's going to be able to save RHYA from really getting completely nuked, okay? That's the main thing. Now, I don't think they're really safe versus Noelle combos, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. Now Zora is here for the MO removal, but overall, I mean, yeah, it's basically that. If we're being honest, it really is basically that. You need immortality removal, and then FINRAL, obviously, why it could maybe work is because you're gonna make everyone go first. Obviously, Noelle's gonna stun first, but then FINRAL has this combo which is gonna get 40% crit damage. And one thing you gotta remember is that RHYA, when he lands a crit, gets extra attacks, right? But then he has basically a 40% crit rate increase, okay? And then his stats, 25% crit rate, 50% crit damage. He's going to have high crit rate. So he has a base with counter of 65% crit rate. So you're going to be getting crits. And then you factor in that FINRAL puts an extra 22% crit rate on RHYA. Well, this combo with a 40% crit damage increase is going to be pretty crazy, because RHYA has a single target that also puts concentrated attack debuff on an enemy, which guarantees the crit. But it's mainly just doing damage with a 40% crit damage increase is pretty nasty. Right? It could be nasty. It could be for sure. It's just going to be hard to use it, I feel. But definitely, though, the skill 1 is going to be very good for RHYA. I mean, obviously it is, because there's also the attack increase that I forgot to put on. But level 4 attack with the crit rate and the speed, man. I mean, it should be good. It really should be decent. I don't think this is going to be his best team. I really think that Mono Blue is. But this team shouldn't be half bad, because you can't get stunned. You have heals, right? It's going to increase RHYA's HP, which is good. And then FINRAL is going to be helping for damage. Zora is going to be removing immortality. I feel like this team can work. And then obviously RHYA gets 2 turns right away. Because when it's RHYA's turn, he has the 50% mobility because he's with the supporter. And when he's with the supporter, well, obviously he gets 50% mobility increase. So I really like this team, actually, surprisingly. So we'll have to see. Now, this team is going to be weird, but why, right? Why? Well, you're going to be surprised to find out RHYA on his skill 2 puts an electrocute AoE. It's an AoE attack. He puts electrocute AoE. And when you get 3 shocks, right? Who could I show? Yeah, so does this show? No. So let's go to luck. Let's go to my goat. So when you get 3 shocks, well, that applies. Oh, it doesn't show. Does it? It doesn't show. So when you apply 3 shocks, it puts SP -8. So this is going to be a nice, funny gimmick team that's not going to be good in my opinion. Honestly, not really going to be that good. But, I mean, you could have fun with the shocks. Stop them from ulting, right? This could be crazy, especially versus a Clover Mimosa. When you apply those 3 shocks, SP -8, then you kill someone, bada bing, bada boom. Obviously, the shocks will be doing damage too, so keep that in mind. And then this team. So I think Goodlitty could work in place of Charlotte. And why? Because Goodlitty, with the skill page active, puts 2 turn protection and a barrier. That barrier is actually going to be more huge than you think. Because, I mean, what? He could get like 250k HP. And that's a 30% barrier. That's literally like a 75% HP, a 75k barrier with all attack and 2 turn protection. And he puts damage reduction. Okay. And he's going to be very tanky. I mean, Mimosa's going to heal him up. He's going to have damage reduction, right? I mean, it should be good. And if you really want to, hey, that remove 1 debuff in the future versus Dorothy. It should be crazy. It should. Now, this team, though, I feel is going to be pretty good. Now, it's going to depend. I mean, Goodlitty giving the all attack actually is going to be pretty big. It will. Surprisingly, it will. RHYA's damage is already going to be pretty high, I feel. But then that 40% all attack, like, just for what this team's meant to be, I mean, I could somehow see this cook, but this is going to be more of a gimmick team that, you know, we'll have to see for. But definitely one of the teams I will be trying out. Now, the 2 things that I'm not sure about. So, in this, we saw that he could be next to a defender and a supporter. But I'm really not sure, right, of the other ones. The attacker one, I just don't think it's going to work until Fuego comes out. This guy, bro, oh my god, he's going to be good with Fuego. Bro, I mean, this actually... How do they go from these types of releases, these shitter releases that need 2 attack sets that need to be ran with each other, to this beautiful masterpiece, right? This actual masterpiece where Fuego and RHYA are gonna be sexy together, okay? So fucking good, man. Actually, so good, okay? Now, what am I talking about? Actually, hold on. I need to pull this up. Do we know his speed? Do we know Fuego's speed? Before I say anything, do we know Fuego's speed? Wow, Fuego, we got his info a while ago. Hold on. Do we know his speed? Because it's right here, right? This is his kit. But I don't know, is this Fuego? He's at 103. So he's as quick as RHYA. Okay. And he has magic attack, right? What are his stats? What does he get for dupes? Like, genuinely, what does he get? Okay, so LR, yeah. So he gets... HP, magic attack, and attack. Okay. That attack is a bit... That kind of sucks. That really does suck, actually. That does. That really does. Oh, because that's obviously going to lose you. That HP, though, was very good. How much HP was that? Sorry, little tangent. I just gotta see. So, that is 45 to 4.5k HP is good. So, why exactly are they going to be good together? Well, RHYA's blue, Fuego's chaos. He needs a rainbow team, right? Rainbow team. But the main thing is that, where is it? If you counterattack without having Salamander's Flame present, you get Salamander's Flame for 2 turns. Now, by that point, you might have burns up, but RHYA, remember, can give the counterattack, right, instead of Fuego's dupe 2. So those are the things, right? Those are definitely the things where they will probably work together. And I just can't wait for that. I really can't. It's gonna be so good. It is. It is. Bro, this, when Fuego comes out, I think Gray, this is when the stonks go up for Gray. Burn and Shock. Bro, Gray's gonna cook. Burn and Shock, that Gray puts... Oh, no, but wait. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Never mind, because they're not the same color. Man, that kind of sucks. Okay. But, yeah, no, Fuego, I think, with RHYA should be crazy. That's the thing. But anyway, going back to the main point, because obviously the counterattack is good for Fuego. But... I don't know for the other ones. Like healer, I don't know if you want a healer one because what, 100% of attack is a barrier. Like a 80k barrier is not too crazy. I don't think so. I don't think you'd ever want this because on the ult it puts barrier immunity. Not good. I don't think it's that good. But the attacker one, putting barrier removal can be good. With a 30% damage increase, yes. And the debuffer one, I think the debuffer one for World Boss is going to be the best one. You put this with Dorothy, and then Dorothy applies defense lower and also incapacitate and mobility lower on the enemy, while you get more SP every turn. I do think is going to be good. So the defender one we have a use for. The attacker one maybe with Fuego. The supporter one we do obviously have a use for now. The debuffer one in PvE should be good, but the healer one is just there to be there, I think. They could have made it good. They could have, if they gave him, like, basically, like, oh, replenish immortality or some shit when it's your turn, like, that could have been crazy. I don't know. I feel like I was hoping for more from healer. Like, maybe heal the whole team when he dies. That could have been good. Something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, RHYA's going to be good. He's going to be good. You guys let me know what you think about what I discussed in this video and what type of counters you are expecting for these teams I mentioned. And I'll try to counter back with what I believe I could counter to your counter, obviously. So, yeah, we'll talk about this more. I will go more in depth into this in the future. But for now, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.